Hey friends, it's Josie and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm just going to show you a little bit around the garden, show you what we got going on and my plans, because those plans will be coming up sooner than what we think. We don't plan on doing anything else to the garden, like building wise, until it gets cooler out, because it is very hot, you guys. So I'm just going to show you around. There's not much going on in here. I pulled up a lot of stuff, so I'll just show you what we are working with. So we will start here in this bed. There is nothing here besides my marigolds and then a few weeds that I need to come out here and pick. And then I need to get some mulch today to mulch this so that the weeds will not continue to come as much and things like that. This bed, when I pulled up my tomato plants, for some reason there were in fact termites in here up underneath my plants, and I also found grub worms in here too. So I'm a little bit scared as of right now to plant this bed out. I'm not as scared to plant like something that grows on top of the soil, but I really want quite a bit of like carrots and stuff like that, but I'm scared to put it in this bed because I don't want for it to become time to get the carrots and then they're gone because the grubs have eaten them. So I'm probably going to wait till next year to plant this one out, but I did get some beneficial nematodes and put all in this bed in hopes that it will help kill off all the termites and the grubs and anything else that might be inside the soil. So we will do that. I probably won't plant this bed out, maybe with only like cabbage or something like that. But no root vegetables whatsoever because I'm scared. So in this bed is where I had all of the watermelon and sunflowers. Watermelon is still here and melons is still here. It looks like something else might be in this one right here. But the melons have not done anything because I think the sunflowers had taken a lot of the nutrients. So I pulled all those sunflowers out, put nutrients back into the soil. So I'm hoping that maybe we'll be able to do something with it. But we can only hope, because before too long it's going to be too late. We still have my trellises up, so this one is closest to me. We have something growing on there. It's either a pumpkin or some type of squash. I cannot remember fully, but we will know whenever that comes up. That's just something that I had planted just because I was taking my cucumbers up because I didn't do too well. But I am going to plant maybe a couple of seeds of pickling cucumbers right here on this trellis as well, just to see if I can get a few of those before it's too late. Next we still have our pepper plants. They're still here. I only pulled up one or two. Like I pulled up a jalapeno because I already have one down there. Nothing major. And then I did plant, what is that? A green bean, a couple of green beans in here. The other ones I don't see coming up yet. And then I also see some flowers trying to come back up. I don't know if I'm going to let those stay or not. It's just because they were reseeded from the ones that I had in there before. So here is the bed with the pumpkins. This is where I harvest one of the pumpkins already. And then we do have this pumpkin right here. That one will be ready within the next week or so, I believe, which is exciting. So we'll have another one. And then I don't know if you can see, but on the very top of that trellis, we have one as well. I did put some cardboard on it because it's just sitting right up there on the trellis, and it was trying to come through the wire, and I don't want it to do that, obviously. So we did get that taken care of. I'm also having, let me see what this is, quite a bit of like snails and stuff like that in here. So I think I'm gonna get some beer and put it in little cups down here so that maybe they will all gravitate to that, and then there won't be so many. Haven't noticed much damage, but I do know that they can do some damage. And then I'm also going to fertilize this again. I think it's about time to do that as well. I'm trying to think of anything else we got in here. This up above me is squashes, like pumpkins and butternut squashes. You can see my butternut squash around this area a little bit more. Let me show y'all. We only have 2 that I've seen that are this size. So it's those 2. I think these are the butter bush variety. So we do have that going on, and then we still have these beds that we're not doing anything with right now. We do have this one that I put a bunch of stuff on so that it can start trying to kill off that grass that was in there, but I don't know if it's working like I wanted it to. So I might have to just get like a tarp or something like that and do that instead. These other beds, there's like little trees coming up in them. We tried to use a weed eater. That's not going to work, so we're either going to have to pull them up by hand or cut them down to the base really good or something. I honestly don't know what I'm going to do with that. That stuff has overgrown since we left, you know, and I just not for sure what I should do with that. I don't know. So if you have any suggestions on what I should do with little old trees in my garden beds that I'm not using, let me know, because I have no clue what to do. I can get in there and pull them up, but there's quite a bit of them to pull up. Spiders in there, which I can wear gloves, and they're in there pretty good, you guys. So, yeah, I just don't know. Maybe my husband would be able to get them out. But I don't know. We're just going to have to wait and see when it gets cooler for that, I guess. And then, like I said, I do plan on putting out maybe today some, what is it? Cucumber seeds for pickling. I only have 1 green bean that's actually popped up. So I might end up putting some more here too, just to make sure that they do come up. So I can try to get 1 more harvest out of those before it's too late. And then, you know, if the rest of them pop up, then that will be fine too. I can just pluck them or whatever I need to do. So another thing that I was thinking about is, what am I going to do? Like, not what am I going to do. So I want to do like some fruit trees. I would love to have some fruit trees, some more berries, things like that. And I didn't know how I wanted to actually do it. I didn't know if I wanted to plant them in ground or what. I didn't know what I wanted to do. But I seen somebody, I will have to put her name across the screen, that does a lot of that stuff in containers or grow bags or whatever. So I think that's what I want to do. So I think soon, so they can come here. I think they said they'll ship in September for my zone. I want to do a peach tree, and all of these will be self-pollinating. So I'll probably just do 1 peach tree for right now, maybe a nectarine, and then we'll do, of course, more blueberries. And I want to do maybe some blackberries and go from there and see how I like doing those, because I've never grown those before. And then I'm trying to think of what else. We're going to have those in pots instead of in the ground, because just my mind changes so much. I don't know what I want to do with where to live, and I don't want to start a tree and then it be ready to produce and then it's time for me to move. So I don't know, but I am still going to have this bed along the fence line here. And this will be where like we put my onions, garlic. I just walked through a spider web. Stuff like that. And then I was thinking maybe over here on this side I could end up putting a couple, like those, either the trees here or the berries or whatever, since there is a little open space here. Or I could even put them along the fence line towards the back, because we do have some space back there too. I don't know if you can see. We do have some space there too. So that I'm thinking is the plan for that. And in containers, you know, you can control the pH levels and everything like that a little bit easier than you could if it's in ground. So, and that would work better for me, so we can see how that goes. I have a ton of squash bugs that I need to get control over. I might do like the duct tape method, where you just, oh, there's a spider web, where you just get some duct tape and then, you know, touch them to the duct tape and then dispose of the duct tape is what I might do, because I have quite a bit, and I see quite a bit of the eggs as well. So we might do that sometime today as well if I have time. But yeah, so that's it. I also planted, over here, some beets. Just did a couple because, I mean, they're not popping up yet, but I don't like beets. Don't like them. I don't care to like them, but I do know they are very nutritious and stuff like that. So I want to be able to grow some where I can actually get some and dry them in the dehydrator or whatever, and then like powder them so we can put in smoothies and stuff, so we can still get that benefit without tasting the full effect of a beet, because I am not the one who likes them. So I've even tried the golden beets and they're a little bit better, but I have to make myself eat them, and I really don't like that too much. So yeah, so I also have my starts inside that I will show you, because I have not showed y'all in a little bit for that. They are inside. I do need to get some soil to transplant them out of here into some regular soil so that we can start something different in here. So let me show you. So here they are. My broccoli and cabbages and then 2 Brussels sprouts are doing very well. Celery not so well in here. 1 Brussels sprout isn't doing very well. And that is a cabbage or broccoli or something that's not doing very well. But I think after I take these bigger ones out, then they will catch up a little bit. But today is the plan to get these on out of here. And then I can start other stuff in there for the fall as well, because I want to be able to have quite a bit of stuff in there for the fall. I haven't had like a huge fall garden ever. I've always done it in the spring for my brassicas and stuff, so I'm very curious to see how that will work with the stuff in the fall, and just to try to learn a little bit more for the fall season. And plus I want to maximize how much I'm growing. Next year will be totally different than this year. I will be doing a lot of different things next year is my plan. I'm going to make sure this winter have everything set up like I need here for whenever it's time to plant stuff for each season, because I'm going to make sure I have starts ready. Like my tomato plants are out, I would have already had starts to go ahead and plant. Also, I think one thing I am going to change next year as well is how I do my tomatoes. So I think I'm just going to have a handful of tomatoes. I'm going to have maybe a couple of, paste tomatoes for canning with and stuff like that. Maybe 1 or 2 slicer tomatoes. Maybe some cherry or grape tomatoes for fresh eating. Stuff like that. Maybe 1 new thing or maybe 1 different thing, just so I can, see how that is. I think that's what I might do, and then just baby those and protect them as much as I can, and also have some more starts inside going, so that if something was to happen to those, or if I start seeing diseases or anything like that, I can go ahead and pull it up, replace it with a new one, and not have to worry about that, and still continue to get a harvest, because I'm not getting any more tomatoes right now. And with the tomatoes I had was a lot, but I only got like 8 to 10 quarts of tomato sauce, which obviously isn't enough for a whole year. So we're going to need to figure that out a little bit more. I also think I might try to extend my growing season a little bit by adding, you know, some frames onto my garden beds with the, you know, what is that, the weather barrier thing on it as well, the plastic on there too, to try to see if I can plant them out a little bit earlier than, you know, other people will be able to. And same thing, trying to do that to get my spring stuff out a little bit sooner. So we will be, you know, trying our best to do all that stuff next season or next year, and figure out how I want to do that. I'm also thinking about putting some herbs in my AeroGarden this winter and just seeing how they do in here all winter, so that I can harvest some stuff like that, because I didn't do very many herbs out in the garden this year, so I want to see how they would be able to do here all winter, and then that might be an option for herbs, for a few of them at least, and just see. I got quite a bit of basil, but there are some other things that I want for a combination of different spices and stuff. I'm really not doing the medicine too much right now, but I'm not opposed to doing anything with it if I have enough for that. But yeah, so we will see. But that was just a little garden tour, a little update on the garden situation, things like that. So I don't have much going on with the garden, so that's why I haven't brought you around the garden too much. It's mainly been things inside the house. But sometimes that is just part of it. My channel is gardening, homesteading, or was homesteading. It might be eventually again, I don't know. Cooking and all of the things home related. So yeah, so if you haven't already, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time.